Before we start the show, let's hear from one of our sponsors. Their support keeps this show free for you.
All you homeowners have unique needs. Some feel the need to paint their door a vibrant shade of blue. Others have the need to decorate their bathroom with fish, anchors, and other nautical items. And because each homeowner has unique needs, Geico helps you get the right coverage for your home and what's in it. That way, you get exactly what's right for you, even if your needs are unique. Get more with Geico.
Thanks for joining me on the Peace and Parenting podcast. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome back to the Peace and Parenting podcast. I'm Michelle, and I'm so glad you're here. I wanted to talk about this idea around really prioritizing connection over productivity, I guess, or over everything else, and including productivity, including a lot of things. But I think what has become the gold standard in our society is being busy, kind of, and doing things and being productive. And so there's this idea that the more things we do and get done and accomplish, the more accomplished and successful we are, or maybe we feel that way about ourselves, or maybe society, kind of places that on us, that we have to do. And that's part of success or part of succeeding in life. And I really want to kind of debunk that a little bit and say that the most important things in our life are the connections that we have with the people we love the most, right? I mean, I believe that the connections that I share with my daughters are more important than anything else in my life. I feel like I have to prioritize their connection with me and my connection with them in order to feel secure in our bond, in our relationship. And a lot of things in life get in our way. Work, taking care of our homes, taking care of bills, doing our taxes, feeding our people, trying to have a balanced life. And I think that it can really get in our way as far as the connection piece. But if we prioritized connection first, more important than that, I think two things would happen. One, our relationships would blossom. And if our relationships are blossom and doing well, and we're doing well, that means our prefrontal's online. That means we can think better. That means our kids can think better. That means everything's just kind of moving along better. Then we actually have more moments and more time to be productive. And then the struggle doesn't have to be so hard. When we can just switch our focus, we actually get more time. I tell this to people all the time about special time. People will say like, oh my gosh, I don't have time for special time. I can't do special time every day. It's too hard. I don't have 20 minutes for each of my kids. There's no way. There's no time in the day. And whenever I hear that, I think it's so sad, first of all, that we can't have 20 minutes with our kids. And that we've filled our life with so much stuff that we can't shove in 20 minutes of connection every day. And that our priority is not connection, that we would rather get the other things done. We would rather do the chores and the activities and just the things of life. We would rather place those on top instead of placing connection on top. And that when we do place connection on top, we get the fruit, right? We get kids who are doing well. We get siblings that play together better. We get more cooperation. We feel better in our relationships, and our home runs smoother, so that we have more time to pay our bills, do our taxes, and cook meals for our kids. So there's a few things that I think make sense for me, and maybe they'll make sense for you. I don't know. I said, I won't allow homework or schoolwork to be the focus or take up my time together with my kids. I just won't do it. I won't allow homework to take precedent. It's important. And I recognize that. And I think that it will get done. I'm not too concerned if it doesn't. but it ends up getting done. But I won't allow it be our focus. I won't come home and harp on doing homework and, make sure they're doing it and being checking grades and like have that be the focus of our relationship, because it really eats away at the connection piece. And I won't have school be the priority. That does not mean I don't believe in education. I'm a, a long time public school teacher and high school counselor, and I deeply believe in teaching kids. I don't necessarily believe in the school system the way it is. That's a totally another podcast, but it doesn't mean because I don't prioritize it that I don't think it's important. My daughter's in college, my other one's in, a Catholic high school. It isn't that we don't believe in education. It's that I'm not going to let it take precedent over our connection and over our home. So that's one thing. I won't let productivity be the center of what we do. So it isn't about, I know sometimes people will say to me, oh, well, I had special time with my kid. I took them to the grocery store with me. And I'm thinking, I get you. I see what you're doing. You want to kill two birds with one stone because you need to get everything done. And so you're making going to the grocery store your child's special time because you're trying to check something off their list. I get that. That's not necessarily the best way to get connection. And I think the best way to get connection is really to focus on connection. So instead of focusing on productivity, I will really focus on connection, whether that's just play with my kids or that's special time with my kids or that's empathy or understanding, but really focusing on the real ideas, the roots of connection, instead of focusing on getting things done. We're hitting pause for a moment to thank our sponsors. These brands make sure you can listen to this podcast for free.
All you homeowners have unique needs. Some feel the need to leave up holiday decorations year-round. Others have the need to use their garage as practice space for their new metal band. And because each homeowner has unique needs, Geico helps you get the right coverage for your home and what's in it. That way, you get exactly what's right for you, even if your needs are unique. Get more with Geico.
Are you sick of the sibling fighting? Are you tired of asking your child to do the same thing over and over and over again, only to end up using threats and bribes to try to get them to cooperate? Well, it doesn't have to be like that. You can learn the ideas of connection through our Connected Parent Mastermind group coaching program. We meet 3 days a week. Myself and my 2 coaches hold meetings. We also give you access to all of my online materials, meaning 10 modules of instruction, PDFs, podcasts, and my book. You get to join our school community and interact with coaches and myself and so many parents who are doing this work just alongside you. So if you're feeling stuck or if you want to accelerate your connected parenting practice even further, join the Connected Parent Mastermind. Click the link in the show notes for more information. Okay, back to the episode. Number 3, I will treat connection as vital as food and water. So I will treat connection as the most important thing that we have. Like I said in the top of the podcast, like without connection, what else is there in life? If we don't have this deep connection with our children, are we really living a fulfilled life? Are we living a, thoughtful, engaged existence with the people that we love the most? Or are we just checking things off and getting through the day and making sure that we're productive? Now, sure, we all get caught up in that. Even us most connected people, we get caught up getting things done. I do it too. I'm no slouch here. I'm a type A. I like to get a lot of things done. I'm very productive. But I also have learned and tried so hard to pull away from that productivity and move into connection as much as I possibly can in my old brain and my old thoughts and my old, upbringing, tried to really eke myself out of there so that I can prioritize connection. Now, does it happen every single time? No, absolutely not. Do I get caught up doing things and on my phone when I should be really listening to my daughter? Absolutely. I screw it up too. I'm just saying, in an ideal world, this is what I want, y'all. Okay. I will not succumb to control to move behavior. So I think also when we're overproductive or we're doing a lot of things or we're super busy, we're just like, fine, I'll just threaten them. I'll just bribe them. I'll just do whatever because I got to get stuff done. I got to, there's groceries and there's, a messy house and there's these things. So I'm just going to threaten them because I just need them to fall in line right now. And I say it in this rushed voice, right? Because I feel like that's how it feels inside sometimes, right? We just get into this rushed kind of idea in our head and we have to get things done and check things off lists and we got to have them behave right now. And I think that thought and premise is sometimes what leads us to threats and bribes. And we don't really mean to or want to or yelling, but it's where we end up going because we feel the productivity brain eating at us. Get it done, your list. Oh my gosh, you can't get it all in. You're never going to get it all done. You just need this kid to fall in line. They've got to follow directions and brush their teeth so that you can get your stuff done. And we don't really want to use threats and bribes and control, but we end up doing it because we're overly concerned with the productivity part or getting them to do something so that we can have our time to do our own things. When in fact, if you focus on the connection, right, then those things that you ask them to do will be so much better. It's like chicken and egg, right? What comes first? Is it the dysregulated, not cooperative child comes first? Or is it the disconnection comes first? And so if you dealt with the disconnection, would the child be more cooperative? So in the thought that we need to control their behavior, if we can replace that with we need to connect with our child and that the behavior will come, really becomes the premise of connective parenting, really becomes the backbone and idea of it. Now, is it easy to get rid of threats and bribes and yelling and all these things? No, it's not easy. It's really hard, especially because our society is ingrained and our bodies and mind are ingrained, our own childhood's all ingrained in this stuff. And so it's been very hard for me. I've been doing this work for a long, long time since Esme was 5, she's 19, and it's still hard sometimes. There's still times I want to just yell at her because I want to get something done, because I have my own agenda, and because, parenting is sometimes the afterthought as opposed to being the thought, right? I think taking care is always the thought. We're always taking care of our kids. We're always making sure they're fed and they're safe and they're all these things. But is it the parenting or rather the connection piece? Is that the primary thought? Okay. I will rely on natural consequences exclusively over parent imposed consequences. Natural consequences are so lovely. They really can teach incredible lessons. They become places where kids really dive into their own internal guilt, shame. We talk about that a lot. And so natural consequences are a big part of connected parenting. Now, am I going to let my child have the natural consequence so they're going to really hurt themselves? No. But am I going to allow the everyday natural consequences to occur? Absolutely. I'm going to allow them, to not turn the homework in and see what it feels like to get the 0. I'm going to allow them to maybe say the wrong thing and see how that lands with them. You can say the wrong thing to me and I'm not going to get upset about it and I'm not going to take it personally, but I'm going to hold space for that. I'm going to be calm and quiet and regulated in that space. And now, how do you feel? And you might not be able to come out and say how you feel. But internally, I know you know how you feel because you're a moral human being, because I raised you and I know you're a good person. And so will that natural consequence of saying the wrong thing hit you in a certain way over time or over a few occasions around it? And will that be a good lesson? Will that be a good way to learn? Will that be a good way to grow? Natural consequences are incredible. We have a big opportunity to lean into natural consequences, but we want to fix. We really do. And we want to remedy and we want to give answers and we want to make sure they don't fail because it's too hard on us and because we know better. And oh no, you can't fail like that because I did it and it was so bad. But they should fail. Failure is part of life. And that also brings resilience, right? Because they know that they can recover from their failure. So prioritizing connection over productivity and over control really can be a monumental mind shift for you. Now, will you be perfect at it? No, nobody is. I'm not either. I try. I just try. So maybe take this idea into your interactions with your kids and prioritize connection because it's vital, like food and water. All right. Thanks for joining me on the Peace and Parenting podcast. I'm so glad you were here.
All you homeowners have unique needs. Some feel the need to paint their door a vibrant shade of blue. Others have the need to decorate their bathroom with fish, anchors, and other nautical items. And because each homeowner has unique needs, Geico helps you get the right coverage for your home and what's in it. That way, you get exactly what's right for you, even if your needs are unique. Get more with Geico.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/kidsandfamily. Just go to Indeed.com/kidsandfamily right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.